Oh no, I need to see my beautiful face. What am I doing? Alright, what is this, like take freaking 10 or something? Hello everybody and welcome back to the Macoolio Show. I'm David Macoolio and tonight we're starting, oh, well it could be the morning. Damn, why do I have to interrupt myself? Tonight we're starting a new segment on the show. Now this segment was actually my sister's idea, so kudos to her, thanks Siobhan. This was an idea that we came up with when me and her were discussing how I could, on this channel, create more frequent video content. It's not that I'm not working hard, trust me, I'm working hard. I'm making episodes and making videos. It's difficult, okay? Life isn't freaking easy all the time. Anyway, this is an idea to counter that. We're so clever. So the idea was that basically any night that I don't upload like a video game video or like a planned video, I create these sort of snap chats of what's going on in my life. No, I don't want to call the thing Snapchat for, well, very obvious reasons. So I've decided to draw upon my love of sort of Japanese culture and call it Snapu chats. Ah dear, aren't I so original? Basically I can do it with whatever I want, but the idea is to make something very short, something easily edited, and something I can just dish out real easy. We'll see how it goes, but hopefully this means I can have a video every day. I fucking hope so. Remember that time I said I was gonna do weekly vlogs? Man, this is why I'm doing this. Okay, anyway, so you probably read the description below. I'm talking about the Death Note movie. I guess this is gonna kind of be a review and just an opinion of what I think of it, I suppose. So to start this off, I suppose I should explain Death Note really quickly. Okay, essentially, the story of Death Note. There's a character called Light. He's super clever, kind of hates things because the world doesn't have any justice in it. He then stumbles across something called, guess what? Bing! A Death Note, and that Death Note gives him the power to kill people. Yes, that's right. All he has to do this is write down their name and think of their face, and bang, they die. Now, he can also specify how they die, which kind of gives him control over these people as well, to an extent, just before they die, which is kind of cool. And then in response to him getting this, he decides, you know what, I can change the goddamn world. So he goddamn well does, and he starts killing a bunch of criminals. And this, of course, gathers the attention of, guess who? The police. And the police go, who the heck is this guy killing all these criminals? Because eventually Light kind of goes, hey, I should turn myself into a god called Kira. Oh my gosh, that's so clever. And start like having criminals kill themselves in Kira's name. So you know what I mean? He attracts a lot of attention from a lot of people to make a big difference. So the police get onto it and they basically deduce that, hey, we can't catch this guy because, you know, he's got a fucking magical book. So they get a guy called L involved, who is basically the smartest person in the world, but he sort of helps fight crimes. And he gets involved. I suppose up to this point, the movie and the anime and the manga all sort of have the same thing going for them. It's after this point that everything kind of changes to an extent. The movie itself isn't too bad at capturing those initial parts of the story, and is fairly intriguing, but I feel like it really misses what makes Death Note so good. And I'm finding that a lot of media nowadays that sort of, you know, taking inspiration from, you know, other content. I feel like this is happening quite a bit. You know, there's this great anime, manga, comic book, whatever, that does really well. People want to make money off of it by making a movie. They make the movie, but they kind of miss all the important parts of the original content. And what they miss in Death Note, and what I thought made Death Note so good, because yes, I have watched the anime. Haven't read the manga though, because I watched the anime. What made Death Note so good for me was there was this whole sort of moral ambiguity and the mind games that the main two characters played with each other. L is trying to prove that Light is Kira. Kira is trying to figure out L's name. And they're sort of using these little tricks of the trade to sort of run each other off the scent, to try and figure out how they're gonna pull this off, but without compromising themselves. And basically, these two people decide the closer they are to each other, the easier it'll become. And so it becomes this really interesting sort of game that these two people play with each other. In the movie, you know, like, they've got Willem Dafoe voicing Ryuk, which I think is awesome. Ryuk is the death god, by the way. That's right, I forgot to mention this kind of important part of the story. If you become the user of a Death Note, they're actually owned by a death god, so you can actually see the death god who owns the Death Note. So yeah, there you go. But he plays Ryuk really well, but I feel like the dynamic between Light and Ryuk isn't really expanded upon really well. in the movie, Light's a very emotional character, which I think they tried to make him sort of a, a humanic character so people could sort of, feel for him and empathize with him. That's not who Light is. The best thing about Light in the anime is he just goes for it. When he gets the idea of what he wants to do, he's just like, fuck what people think. This is the way the world should be run because it gets shit done. He is still a fuckhead. Okay, he's still a fuckhead. Still a fuckhead. Go L. L's the best. And L in this is also super emotional, which is really weird because L's kind of like, he's a nice guy, but he's just really odd, so you don't really know if he gets affected by what's going on. And that's kind of the fun of it too. There's actually one point even in this where L gets a gun and chases Light through the fucking streets of Seattle to kill him. You're like, the fuck is going on here, man? This is ridiculous. But, kudos to Netflix for giving it a go and giving it a try. I'm not gonna rate it like an assist out of 10. I'd be like, how much would I pay for this experience? I'd say $5. That experience was worth $5. It does some things right, it does many things wrong. It's not inherently unlikable, but it's kind of like, why didn't you just do it the way the anime did it? Use what's good about the freaking anime. Anyway, it's okay. It's fine. It just sort of adds to a pile of other movies and TV shows that don't really get why the original content was so good. Cool, so there you go, guys. That's my little review slash rant slash snap with shots of Death Note, the Netflix movie. If you want to check it out, go for it. It's on Netflix, or you can probably download it illegally. It's up to you, really, but just remember, if you become too much of a criminal, Kira's coming after you, and he will fucking murder you.